069 914 794, or you can call 090 Once again, the numbers to call are 07069 914 794, or you can call 090 Checking out the stories on the front page of the Punch newspaper for this morning. Lagos Calabar highway demolition. 100 landowners team up for fresh legal war. Lagos Calabar highway demolition. 100 landowners team up for fresh legal war. You find that story on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Abure OT on coalition course over Labour Party NWC tenure. External auditors to examine NNPC 2.6 trillion naira subsidy claim. External auditors to examine NNPC 2.6 trillion naira subsidy claim. According to the PDP chieftain, it says, with current hardship, electorate won't vote APC. With current hardship, electorate won't vote APC. This is a statement coming from the PDP chieftain. You find the rest of that one on page 7. Quickly checking out this story on page 14. INEC rules out PVC collection by proxy. INEC rules out PVC collection by proxy. And checking out the big story, says flights of fancy, governors slammed for wasting 160 billion naira on unviable airports. Flights of fancy, governors slammed for wasting 160 billion naira on an unviable airport. Nasarawa, Yobe and others beg federal government to take over airports shunned by airlines. IG vows to rescue 2,149 kidnapped victims. IG vows to rescue 2,149 kidnapped victims. On page 6, Lagos conduct Red Line Rail test run today. Lagos conduct Red Line Rail test run today. Amcon set to sell Ibadan Disco. Amcon set to sell Ibadan Disco. You find that story on page 20. And finally, on the front page of the Punch newspaper, we have an image showing children. This is on the foreign scene, children attending classes inside and outside a dilapidated building in Mocha, Yemen on Tuesday. All of these stories and more you find on the Punch newspaper for this morning.
You're listening to Press Review. Press Review. Stay tuned.
Zero 09048818810, or you can call 07069914794. All right, I have Sanusi Latif in the building. Good morning to you, Sanusi. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Right, what's going on? What's the secret?
I don't know. You know, when there is life, there is hope.
Well,
so in the midst of all the challenges in Nigeria, we just have to, keep being happy that at least we are able to wake up to see another day.
Definitely.
So maybe that's why.
All right, that's beautiful. All right, so I mean, I know that you listened to or you've seen most of those, front pages. What's that story that is catching your fancy at the moment?
I'm telling you, the biggest of it is the one that the former lawmaker that actually refunded the loan that he had in between 1976 and 1979. And I tell you, there's so many things that people don't let me assume that people are not actually looking at, which we have to just take a look at it. For me, you may think about other story, but for me, that's the biggest story. Because number one, let's just look at what has happened to our naira from the value of naira. That's an angle to it. You can also look at the at the other angle, that why did it take this loan for how many years? That's about 45 years. What happened that he didn't refund the money up until now? The another question is that means there may be so many other people that have not decided to be honorable, like he has decided to be, that have taken the loan at that time, and if not refund, they have up till now they have not refunded the loan. And that also tells you that, okay, this new loan scheme that we have NEL fund for, which is the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, how are we going to ensure that we don't have people taking the loans? It's the transparency is going to be there, and not refunding the money. Because if it can happen between 1976 and 79, when in terms of integrity,
so should we say, a committee wasn't set up that period to, see to this?
That is part of that is part of the questions we need to ask, because I know as at that time Nigeria was much more better than what we have now.
Okay.
But even though that tells you that what you're talking about, lapses in our system, the writing's not been done, it's been there long ago. And that is why you see the song of the likes of Fela talking about suffering and smiling.
Definitely.
When was that song released? When was this song Obìnrin Kígbe Kò Sówó and all those things? Those songs have been there long time ago. So that tells you that our trouble started long time ago, and it's getting bad and bad and bad. Now let's take a look at. Let me start breaking it down. Let's start from the money. He took a loan of 1,200 naira, and he decided to refund equivalent of 3 million naira, 3,189,217 naira. That is what he actually refunded. And he also tried to be honorable, because he looked at the value of that 1,200 naira. As at that time, he looked at the value now, and now realized that the value is 3,189,217 naira. That tells you how bad our naira has become, because he now said for him to actually calculate the amount that he refunded, he had to get across to the CBN, look at the value of the annual average exchange rate, the annual average exchange rate from 1972 to 1985, to get an idea of what is the equivalent of that money now. And he said, as at 1979, as at 45 years ago, when the loan that he took ended, because he took it between 76 and 79, like I said, as at that time, a dollar was much more less than naira, because he said as at that time, based on what he got from the CBN, as at 1979, with 596 kobo, not naira, with 596 kobo, you'll be given a dollar, meaning that 596 kobo was equivalent to a dollar. That tells you how strong a naira was against dollar. He now said, as at now, if you now have if you now look at the equivalent of 1,200 naira based on the current exchange rate that he got from the CBN, a dollar now exchanged for 1,583 naira 98 kobo.
Okay, with all of this analysis you've given, 45 years after is a very long time. What would we say was going through his mind, to make this move?
For me, I believe, sometimes when you have conscience, and we
can say that his conscience is still alive, and then
of course, because looking at it, none of us is perfect. You understand? We all make mistakes in life. I'm not exonerating people for not doing the right thing, which is bad, which is wrong, which is condemnable. But what I'm saying is that we all make mistakes in life. So, and I felt like, okay, 45 years ago I took this loan, I didn't refund this loan.
But 45 years is a long time.
Yeah, look at it. Okay, now it doesn't make sense. One day I will die.
What happened to 10 years after? What happened to 5 years after?
That's what I'm saying.
Why would you wait when you know that, okay, anything can happen to me right now? I can just, something can happen. I'm not saying anything, but
repentance can happen at any time, boy.
Okay, all right.
Even though, like I said, it's not an excuse, and that tells you that there are still thousands of people out there who are still owing our country money.
Back in that that period, some people suffered for this particular move.
Exactly, and that is why what some of these people enjoyed back in the days, and that's why some people tell you that as much as we may say the youth are guilty of so many things, it is even the hood that destroyed the system for us. Even though the integrity of those generation was much more better than what we have now, but there are some of them, the bad eggs among the older generation, actually destroyed this country for us. And what the older generation have actually destroyed, the younger generation are now scattering it. You know, they destroy some of them, the bad eggs among them destroyed it.
Right.
Then the younger generation, in their own case, they are no longer destroyed, they are even scattering what has been destroyed.
Right.
You know, which is over destroying what has been destroyed.
Okay.
And that is just it. But for me, I think it's a mixed feeling for me, because like you said, if you had refunded that money, it could have helped the life of so many people. Probably would not be where we are today. And that tells you that a whole lot of them took that money. Up till now, they didn't refund the money. Some are even dead. And if you are not talking about misappropriation, corruption, it's been a long time. And that tells you that that is part of the problem we have with our naira, with our economy, with our policies and all that. And another thing that we also have to look at is that beyond this man that didn't do the right thing at that time, there are also people that did not do their job.
Right.
Because if some people have done their job, even if you want to evade refunding that money, you will have been caught. Probably it will have been in jail. Probably would have not even end up being a member of House of Rep.
All right. Let's hear what this person has to say. Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes. Allow it, my name is calling from Webster.
Okay. Hello. Okay, please do all to call back 09048881881 or 07069914794. 07069914794 or you can call 09048881881. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you are clear.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, you're not clear. Please, Mr. Nicholas, you have to call back.
The line is breaking, please.
It's breaking.
Or maybe you call the other line, Mr. Nicholas.
Okay, 07069914794 or 09048881881. Zero 07069914794 or you can call 09048881881. All right, Sanusi, I mean, the president is going to be meeting with the Chinese president in Beijing. So what's your feeling about this?
Yeah, I think
the signing of the MOUs and all. Deals.
Yeah, I think it's very, very important because apart from the signing of the MOU. It's a normal thing. They are going to discuss issues of national. According to even the spokesman of the president, he said they are going to discuss issues of national, regional, and international security. He also said that other areas that they are going to be looking at is the completion of Abuja to Ibadan segment of the Lagos-Kaduna Standard Railway. And but I know another thing that for me personally, based on what we've seen happen, we all saw it. I think another thing that I know the president wants to touch on, even though it was not part of what the spokesman of the president actually put out to the state house correspondent, is the issue of these Chinese companies that are giving us a lot of issues. Like the first 3 presidential jets that were seized. Every evidence from the Nigerian angle actually points to the fact that these are Chinese companies that are not really doing the right thing, that they said categorically that they are impostors, and Amazon that actually terminated whatever they have with the free trade zone, explain everything to us. So I know definitely the president may deliberately not want that to be part of what will be highlighted that is going to be discussing with the Chinese president, but I'm very sure that is also going to be topmost on his agenda. Yes, hello? You are very clear.
I'm happy I'm clear. This is Nicholas.
All right, Mr. Nicholas, good morning.
And it is a good gesture by the honorable. And we pray they all settle the debts they have taken across the 36 states. But this is very important information, and I want it to be on record. I have the kind permission of Wale Edun, one of the SA to Honorable Oshe, while he was a member of Rep in Abuja, to remind him of his unpaid salaries while he was his SA.
All right.
I have the kind permission of Wale Edun and SA to Honorable Oshe over his incomplete payment while he was his SA. Okay. Now, to my issue of the day. I don't know if Boye read the submission of the First Lady on stricter measures for sexual offenders. Did you, Boye?
Just go ahead. Go ahead with your thoughts. Go ahead with your contribution on that.
Yes, because I'm happy the First Lady is interested in sexual violence crimes. And I hope it also includes women who falsely accuse men of rape. You cannot destroy a man's life who would have died or be castrated, and you go about enjoy yourself as a woman. Secondly, in Lagos State right now, there is a high-profile alleged rape case of one Ogochukwu Odogu by Abisola Onigogi, a senior executive director. It took place in July.
Oh, so sorry. I believe it's the network.
Mr. Nicholas, please call back. You were talking about a very important very issue that happened. You know.
Okay, I think we have another call. I think it's this call that blocked that one. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Alam is my name, calling from Abeokuta.
Good morning to
welcome
you.
to the program.
Whether it's related, whether it's timely, the person who has returned the loan should be commended. I don't think he was forced to do that. His conscience might have picked him us, and for him to have gone to that extent to get the appropriate value of 1,002 in 1979 as of today, and to have lodged into the government force. That is a good spirit of sportsmanship as a nationalist. It doesn't matter whether I was forced or to do it or not, but he has done something. It's a challenge on those who are in the same shoe like him to do the same for the nation. We have to pay back to our nation what our nation has given to us. And for those who are enjoying now with this new scheme that has been introduced by this government, they should not take it as a national cake. It's a loan, and it has to be funded as at when it is due, and when they have the wherewithal to do that. And secondly, going to China is a welcome development, but we want to see what comes out of going to China by the president. Not the way it was when Buhari went the other time.
All right.
We have not seen the value so far so good. Maybe the value is not in the public domain, but we need to see the value for going to China and to negotiate what can bring necessary development, not for the personal interest but the general influence of Nigerians. Good morning.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution this morning. 09048881881, or you can call 07069914794.
All right. I think there's another thing that I actually want to talk about because Mr. Nicholas spoke about what the First Lady said as regards stiffer measures or punishments for sexual assaults, and there's one thing he actually mentioned that they should also look at the duration of those that we falsely accuse someone of rape. And a story came to my mind, and that's the story of Benjamin Mendy that used to play for Manchester City. He was falsely or wrongly accused of rape, and that has actually cost him his career, because after a number of years he was eventually cleared. But what happened to his career? So there are people that also do this thing, which is where I'm also kind of towing that line with what Mr. Nicholas said. It's rape is a very serious offense. I have a daughter, and I don't know what I can do. God forbid. Let me just say, nothing must happen to my daughter. So I can imagine when, for those that actually genuinely suffer this sexual abuse, sexual assault, rape, and all that, no parents, nobody can take it. Even if it's your sister, not even only your daughter, if it's your family. So nobody deserves to be sexually assaulted. Nobody deserves to be raped or what have you. But we also have to look at that issue. There have been so many men's life that have also been destroyed out of being false accusation of rape. And the example that came to my mind is that of Benjamin Mendy. It actually cost him his career, and it's so sad that some of these things happen. That's just what I.
All right, I'm glad you just found a way to go into the world of sports. Coming up by 8 a.m. is going to be Smash Sports. What do you expect in the world of sports this morning?
Yeah, one of the story that is still trending is the appointment of the new coach for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So there's still going to be a lot of talk around that particular incident. Barca played a game yesterday, so there will be talk around that, and the US Open is still on. And that's the last Grand Slam of the year. So there's going to be stories around all of this. The Barca game yesterday, the new Super Eagles coach, who is the sixth German to coach the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We had Kenneth Raw, we had Betty Foltz, we have Manfred Honor, and we have the other one that actually escaped me now. So it's the sixth one. And by and large, some people have said that when you look at the last job he had, he was actually fired due to poor performance, and now we're hiring him. And there's another twist. There is a report that it was a kind of last-minute resort to actually get him as a coach, because the football body were looking at the side of Anderson from Sweden, and Renard, who has had stints with African countries. At some point, they said Anderson did not agree on terms with them. At some point, Renard also, didn't go ahead with the deal. So, but we are playing on the 7th of September, so they had no choice than to look for emergency applicants, and this is the man they could get for. So there are so many twists coming into it, and these are some of the things that we're going to be looking at.
All right, yes. So join Sanusi Latif by 8 a.m. right here on Smash 88.1 FM on Smash Sport. Until then, keep listening to Smash 88.1 FM. My name is Adibuye Oluwafemi. Possibly we'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same station. Sanusi Latif, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Always a pleasure doing this.
Pure fun.